So, welcome to my home. It is a holiday, so I'm not in the clinic today. Um, Kids are downstairs. Hopefully, they stay down there, but we'll see what happens. So, I am upstairs. Let me see. Oh, something just moved. So, I'm upstairs in our workout room slash playroom. So, when I demonstrate how to sit on the toilet properly in just a little bit, you'll probably see part of the playroom, which is a mess because we had some friends and their kids over yesterday, and I am not cleaning just to do a video. Sorry, it's not worth it. So, I had posted this morning mostly because I forgot yesterday, but the post was on um, bowel habits, right? So common but not normal. The last video we did a couple of weeks ago was on bladder habits, so this one is on bowel habits. And I get asked a lot just what's normal and not normal. So that is the sort of inspiration for today's live. In terms of how often is normal to have a bowel movement, it varies greatly, right? So anywhere from 3 times a day all the way down to 3 times a week is still considered normal. So less than 3 times a week, definitely on the more constipated side. Anything more than 3 times a day, really, and you're starting to look at, okay, what's really going on maybe within your GI health, because that is not normal to have that many bowel movements each day, whether you're just not emptying all the way or there's something going on with like a gallbladder or some bacterial imbalance causing more frequent bowel movements. The biggest takeaway really is when you swing from your normal. So if your normal is once a day and all of a sudden now you're going 3 times a day, what potentially could cause that? And then the same thing on the flip side. So if you tend to go once a day and now you're dropping down to like every other day, we maybe need to look and see kind of what's causing that. Anytime there is pain or straining with bowel movements, that is not considered normal. So you should never have to bear down and strain when it's time for a bowel movement. That means that the muscles at the opening are not relaxing enough to let stool come out easily, or that everything is just so backed up that the circumference of the stool is significantly greater than the circumference of the rectum, and so then that would cause some discomfort as well. Um, and then, kind of along those same lines with the consistency, so there is something called the Bristol stool chart, and it is how we sort of grade the consistency of your stool. So it's on a scale of 1 to 7. 1 would be like little rabbit pellets, like very hard, separate little poop balls. All the way up to 7 is liquid diarrhea. And so obviously you can imagine that somewhere right in the middle is optimal. And so sort of a long, smooth little snake is ideal. And there are tons and tons and tons of factors that go into the consistency of your stool. That would require probably a 20-minute video, and I don't think you guys want to watch a 20-minute video on what all goes into stool consistency. But just know if you are having more hard, infrequent stools, that is not something that you should have to deal with. That should get better. And then along those same lines, if you consistently have really soft or liquid stool, you need to talk to your doctor about that because they want to make sure that the bowel health is good. So the last thing I'm going to talk about today is actually how to sit on the toilet properly in order to have a bowel movement and just kind of set yourself up for success. So I'll pull a chair over here in just a second, but the gist of it is, and a lot of people have heard of squatty potties or seen things like that. It's become a lot more mainstream, but when we were designed as humans, toilets did not exist, right? There were no toilets in the Garden of Eden for Adam and Eve to go poop on. So our body was designed to be in the squatted position for defecation. You have a muscle in your pelvic floor that starts on your pelvic or the pubic bone in front, wraps around the rectum, and then attaches back on the pubic bone, and it's designed to stay tensed or taut most of the time so that it kind of kinks the end of the bowel. And that's just to help with maintaining continence of stool. But when your knees get higher than your hips, sort of in that squatted position, ignore my pajamas. When you get in that squatted position, your knees higher than your hips, that muscle actually relaxes and the stool no longer has that kink in it. It is straight. So it will make it a lot easier for you to have a bowel movement. So let me grab a chair real quick and then I will show you what I'm talking about. So pretend this is a toilet, and then I just grabbed a yoga block because I have them from up here. And the height of the stool really depends on the height of your toilet and how long your legs are. So if you have a handicapped toilet, you're going to need something taller to put your feet on. So whatever you can find around the house, you don't have to necessarily buy anything, but you just need something to get your knees higher than your hips. And then typically I recommend that you lean forward, resting your forearms on your thighs, and then just do some nice deep breathing, and that should help relax that pelvic floor and make it easier for the stool to come out. If you are straining, that is not normal, and that's something that I work with my patients all the time. So if you have any questions about pooping, it's one of my favorite topics, go ahead and either you can comment on this video or shoot me a message through the Mid-Missouri Pelvic Health channel, and I'd be happy to send you a message back. Right now, I have the next week's video. The topic is going to be intimacy. Okay, so look forward to that. On Sunday, I will schedule the little graphic that has sort of the high points of what the live next Wednesday is going to entail. I'm not positive what time it'll be, sometime in the lunchtime hour, but I have a Skype video that I have to do with a business group, I think at like 11:30. So I'm not sure how long that'll take, but I will have that all lined up, and the Sunday post will let you know what time the Monday video will be. All right. Happy New Year.